Yep, here I am again, Carolyn, Bible Talk with Carolyn B. And I'm here to talk about, first of all, I'll make a disclaimer that this video is not for any purpose other than to talk about some of the concepts in the Bible or precepts in the Bible. And it's got, I'm not trying to endorse uh, or criticize anyone or any service or product. There you have it. Today I wanted to talk about, well, black men and women. Black men and black women. Uh, I don't want to offend people, especially the black male, but our race is suffering behind the lack of support from the black male. Black women do all they can. Black women try their best to keep the family together and, get along with the father and husband, the father of their children and their husband. And it's like most of the time black men won't take initiative in the family if he's there. The part that they're supposed to play in society, in the home and in society, is non-existent. The black man mind, his mind flows to whatever will benefit him the most at that time. Now I understand that we come from a heritage of slavery, and the black man was really done really poorly as far as manhood goes. He was stripped of that, emasculated, and he wasn't given the opportunity to uh, take care of his family and love his wife like he should have biblically. We're talking about biblical standards. So when we became free and we tried those things, he tried those things. The opposition came in and wanted to continually destroy that. I understand the fear that black men may have, and I understand the difficulty in being the man that you gotta be here in this world today and in these societies. But there is truly no excuse because God is our strength and our Redeemer. He redeemed us from slavery, and He'll redeem you from the troubles hereafter that the mindset of slavery has produced for the black race and societies today. But I'll tell you, the black man has allowed himself to become corrupted by society. He has given the black family, the women and children, over to the devil in front of him so that he can be left alone. And that's what a black man does to defend himself. He puts his family in the line of fire. And then he sits back and watches the war and never even nudges the family from the back to push them along, nudge them along, and or help them in any way. That's the black man. Um, and this is all to obtain more scraps from the enemy than we get, the women and children. Black men, you're still not getting anything. You're getting nowhere. You're allowing your race to be annihilated through your lack of response, through your lack of initiative to make a better life for you or your families. This is truly not fair for us. And then you have the black women who have learned or haven't learned that this is what black men do, and then they're following along as best they can and trying to live with a husband, a father for their children. And it's proven to be more difficult than a life should be or a wife should have to deal with. The whole thing, the whole situation caused by the black man is impossible, or makes life impossible for the black person. When you see a man who allows all of demonic spirits from the enemy to come into his home and rule the home, he's even afraid to talk about the enemy inside his own home. That's how poor and just lackadaisical the black man is. He don't even want to talk about that, even at home. One thing I can say is, there was a point where I was willing to support a black man in my life, a husband, not actually support him monetarily, but I've had black guys who lost their jobs and I took care of them until they got another one, sure. But I'm talking about, I'm willing to support his place in the home. But when you get to the point where you can't talk about somebody in your house, that's too much for me. I am sorry, I can't deal with that. Because there's no problem that can be worked out when you're afraid to be your own self in your own home, where you pay money to be, what you bought, where you pay rent or lease or whatever, and you're afraid to express yourself about the enemy in your own house. I mean, that is just unmanhood like. That is unhuman, and it doesn't benefit anyone. That's too much fear. Now, there's a healthy fear and there's an unhealthy fear, and that's an unhealthy fear, where you can't talk about the enemy in your own home. That is ridiculous. Now, back to when I would be a supporter of black man in his dilemma with the enemy, is when I know that he wants better, that he's going to try or is trying, or that we are on our knees together, worshiping God, serving God, living for God, and asking for God for help, because there's really no help for this situation except in God. But at some point, a black man was good for something, and that was great sex. Man, you couldn't get a sex like that from anywhere if you black and you like black men. And I mean, I always thought they were dynamite in the bed, but I mean, not in the bed, but in the as a husband and wife relationship. Uh, but even that is gone away. The black man has allowed the enemy in his home so to permeate the thoughts of the family. To I mean, he's just no defense until he's like that even and the sleeping quarters. I mean, you 1 minute you're going to where's that crazy town that the BGs talk about in Nights on Broadway, going to the crazy town, and the next minute it's gone. It's over. It can't work anymore. It doesn't work. What birdie put that in your ear? And what birdie would be able, if I were the man, to be able to say to me, hey, don't enjoy that, and definitely don't satisfy the mission that you're supposed to be satisfying? I mean, what in the world could cause you to even listen to something at that point, to anything? So that weakness is way far, 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 far too weak for me to even work with. I won't. You know what? It's not the act that's the problem. That can't be done. That's the problem. It's the fact that that problem is there. I mean, who can come between a man and his wife in his home or in the sleeping quarters? I mean, you are being utterly pathetic, piss poor, and not. That's just not the way things should be done. I understand your plight. I understand the friction that you get when you try to love your black wife. That's just not what the devil wants. And he doesn't want anybody to love their wife, no matter what color. But it's just a trend in these days and times that the black people should always be the target. You've allowed that, black man. You down the line and along the way, by you not standing for anything, you've allowed that. White women and other races do not want you to put us on a pedestal, to not and even to even give us a compliment. And you would agree to that. You make darn sure you don't make say any good thing about a black woman in front of other women of other races. That is ridiculous. Then it's gotten so far as you do it yourself. You even put us down to those other women and the other races. What have you, black man, if you don't have a black woman? I understand mixed race marriages go on, mixed race relationships. But if you're anything like me and I'm black, ain't nothing like a black mate. I've had white ones. I've been married to one. I had a couple that were my boyfriends, but there is just not the same. There are too many issues going on in between the races for me to be comfortable. If my husband is just my white husband is not doing something for me, the first thing that comes to my mind is because I'm black. The first thing I think about is he's doing this. He doesn't care because I'm not worthy of that thing I'm asking for. It don't even have to be that. 9 times out of 10, it is that, but it really doesn't have to be that. But that's what's going to come to my mind. Why would I expose myself to a life like that? I can't do it. I would like to find another man in another race because black men are just too pathetic for me. But I prefer to have a man of my own race, and that's that. The problem with race will never come up except when he's on the enemy side against me. You too embarrassed to be with a black one. Oh, black people are also ugly. I mean, they when they call your women ugly and your children ugly, honey, they talking about all of us, including you. All black people just ugly, and how dare they call us ugly and don't call their own ugly? They don't know when you see an ugly, messed up other race, they good and ugly, believe me. And so, and you don't hear them calling each other ugly, do you? But this is what the black man tolerates: them calling his women ugly, and they're actually calling you ugly, but you ignore it and act like you don't hear it, or act like you're still cute, and you just as ugly as the next black person if we're ugly. So you got no business siding with them against black women because everybody just ain't ugly. Now I'm called ugly, okay, and I accept ugly because I got so many other qualities that are great that other women can't match: black, white, green, or blue. Then I don't even worry about it. And if they do match it, they match it. Hey, then I have company, right? But you know what I'm saying is, even though I'm ugly to people, still I live like other people. I get boyfriends, I get friends, I can work, I can shop, I can dress up pretty. I even look pretty to me. Some days I look in the mirror, I say, "Oh, wait, Father, my goodness, I'm good looking. Thank you." Other days I look in there in the mirror like, God, why you do me like that? That's just life. Sometimes I'm beautiful, sometimes I'm not. And that to me is like everybody else. I don't, when I see somebody that I call ugly, if I keep looking at them or interacting with them, their personality comes out and they're no longer that person I first glanced at. After a while, you just accept that person and they're humans. They have a personality and they have good and bad in them. And then it's just not there anymore. And sometimes I can look at them and wonder what I ever thought was so ugly about that person. And I'm glad for that. I'm happy that God made life like that. You can find the most beautiful person on the earth. There is just gonna be just something wrong with them. I mean, his society is just never satisfied. There's nothing that they won't do or nobody that they won't put down. I mean, everything is a problem. The more negative things are, the better people feel. So this is the world today, and I feel like it's coming to a halt really, really soon because the black people are living under conditions that are intolerable. It's not good to live like this. You can't call customer service. I mean, they get on the phone. Good morning. This is so and so. How may I help you? As soon as they hear my black voice, now they forgot how to spell something. They don't know what I'm talking about. Sometimes they try to brush me off so they can hang up the phone. But I didn't call for you to hang up on me. I called this, resolve the problem. So you're not going anywhere. And then there are times. I mean, I can tell the whole problem. It may take 2 minutes, and they will go. Could you repeat that? I didn't get that. What did you get? And why is that with every customer service? I don't care if it's the pharmacy. I don't care if it's the tire store. I don't care if it's the DMV. It's just the same scenario. Or we're not shopping. I need have a question to a problem, or about an item. This is the same customer service I get. I am so tired of being treated like that, being black. I am very, very tired of um defining myself to people, validating myself, because just because I'm black doesn't mean I'm gonna go for your garbage. It doesn't mean I'm going to let you off the hook because you make me feel bad. It doesn't mean I'm just not that person, and I don't appreciate that everybody thinks because I'm black, I'm just gonna be like every other black. I'm not like every other black. I don't want to be like every other black, because the blacks that I've encountered in my life will let if another race says to jump off a bridge, that's exactly what they do. And see, I'm not even. I don't even roll in that arena. I don't skate in that arena, honey. Um, so I'm getting tired of being disrespected for being black because of the behavior of other blacks. It's really bothering me. So I'm here to ask my people to please don't just wait on the Lord or wait on God to end the world or vindicate you, which He's doing right now, all because of prayers of people like me, blacks like me. He's working on it. Step up and help us. You know, this is a losing battle. Not with God now, because 1,000 might fall at my side and 10,000 at my right hand, but it shall not come near me. You know what I'm saying? I'm having trouble in the spirit, but I'll tell you, there is not one person out there who I think is greater than I am. Everybody, every single soul on earth is only a human like I am. Why would I fear the next human? Does he fear me? It doesn't look like it. Because if you did fear me, you would treat me better. They people out there disrespect black people just to make sure that a black person's not going to do anything to them. And then when they find out the black person's not going to do anything, they still disrespect it. I mean, just because they're black. This is intolerable to me. And I can't see any reason why God would allow life to go on like that. In all actuality, black people are Israel. Now you got them Jews over there that's white skinned over there that kicked us out of Jerusalem and Judah and Israel, and they have now claimed the status of Jews. They're only Jews because they were born there. They're not Jews because they have the bloodline of Abraham. Well, some may. I don't know. I have no idea. But I know we do. It's not because I know it. It's because when I first got saved, maybe a year later, God comes to me out of the blue and says, "You're the seed of Abraham." Now I'm watching TV, and usually when God talks to me, I go into this like trance like deal. I see the TV. I'm alert, yet I don't have a focus. I'm just there, and then God will speak. He says, "You're the seed of Abraham." I go, "Oh wow, that is great." I didn't even connect the dots to what the significance of that was. And that was that day. And then there was another time, maybe 2 years later, God, the same thing happens. I'm in this place. I mean, in this realm of realm. I'm not thinking. I'm just there. And God says again, "You're the seed of Abraham." Now, that one caught my attention. So I started researching what the meaning of being the seed of Abraham is. Man, we are the children of the Most High God. We are Israel. We are the black Jew. We are who God is talking about. That's why everybody hates us. Even the Jewish Israelites that's there now, that the white skin, everybody just hates the blacks. And I delved into that problem with prayer and fasting to get an understanding. It's because you're the seed of Abraham. You're not never going to be let off the hook. You're not never going to be treated justly until you make a move. People are not as evil, not as scary. Well, they are as evil, but they're not as scary as they want to let on. They're not the big bad bold people that they think they are. And they've even begun to think at first it was just a joke. At first it was just a game. But now that they've gotten away with doing so much to us, now they believe it. You know what I'm saying? You got immigrants come to this country, and immigrants start treating us like white people did. I can't see my people any longer succumb to the immigrants' behavior towards you. They're acting like the white man acts towards you during slavery and after. How? Why would you allow the immigrants? I mean, some are so low life forms that is unbelievable. That they never had anything, and once they have get something, and this country treats them better than their country ever would treat them. They've never seen anything so great and never been treated so well that they don't even know how to act. They don't. They want it all. They want to trample over each other to get anything, and especially blacks. I mean, like when they do get jobs at places, their whole uh, agenda is to make sure blacks don't get anything out of the system. Make sure blacks pay more taxes. Make sure blacks die from coronavirus before anybody else. Make sure blacks don't get the education, and make sure blacks don't get the housing. Buy houses that they really like in neighborhoods they'd rather be in. I mean, it's not that I want to be in a neighborhood full of other races either, but I want to be in a better one than, just crime and shootings every night or whatever. I want to be in a better neighborhood than that. And man, we just disparage all the way around. Every of life's opportunities, even to the point where our happiness is always challenged by other people. There used to be a time when it was just material things that we weren't getting. Now it's spiritual. All this evil is beginning to show its spirituality and its origins of Satan. So instead of using houses and customer service anymore, it's just beginning to be a direct assault, spiritual assault out of people who that are demonic and just hate me for no reason, hate black people for no reason. Now look, I've plowed my way through society. I have my stature in society as a human being, as a woman, as a black woman, as a person who is just not putting up with your garbage. I don't believe you when you say I'm nothing. You got to prove it, because my theory is that if you call me nothing, I mean, it takes a nothing to know a nothing. So how can you call me nothing if you're something? You know, then you want to destroy me with evil spirits, but you want good spirits come out of me for you. It's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna give you any bad spirits, because that's not how I roll in Jesus Christ. Or before I knew Jesus, that I didn't pay tit for tat. I always just let people go and get them out of my life, and make them go as far away from me as I could. So I don't roll like that. But what I do, I'm not gonna let you destroy me with your evil spirits. I'm gonna fight back. I'm gonna counter it. I'm gonna pray. Most times, if I pray first, I would really get more results, better, feel better, have a better time of it. But I'm the hard-headed Christian that I am is just now learning how to deal with adversity, evil spirits like that. I've dealt with them all my life, but once I got saved, it was a totally different story. I mean, piles and piles of demons at a time. It just, but that's how society does black people. They single us out, and then everybody goes in on that one person till they break. But I'm not breaking, because there's nothing to break for. I'm not doing. If I do good to people all my life, and I've never, tried to hurt people, even when they tried to hurt me, that built strength in me. That built character. That built courage in me to the day when I did get saved, where I'm not gonna break down and let you break me down, Satan, uh, into believing I'm less than. I'm a less than person on God's green earth. Everybody that's doing that or want that from me, I believe in my soul and in my heart and being that they're the lesser person. And there's nothing you can do about it. You're not going to make me do what you want me to do. You're not going to make me live the life you want me to live because none of it's beneficial for me. Okay, now if you want somebody to live the life you want them to live, you got to have some kids. You understand me? I'm a 60-year-old. I haven't done what you told me all my life, and uh, guess what? I'm not going to. So you're barking up a tree, asking me, beat the dead horse, thinking that you're gonna worry me into something. Let me tell you how I worry you back, and then you can't handle it. I've taken as much as they can give me, but at some point, somebody ought to get tired of being evil. I mean, you're gonna have to find another culprit because I'm not it. I've got the shield of armor of God. I got spiritual warfare scripture. I know it, when I read the Bible, I believe every word, and I don't belong to anybody but Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ is not going to see his seed fallen. He's not going to have his own succumb to Satan's the wiles of the devil. You can't. That's not what Jesus Christ does. When I gave my life to Christ, I gave it to him. I gave him my body, heart, mind, soul, spirit, and strength. And I mean business. I don't want any more of life without Jesus. I lived that life for 55 years, and I don't want it anymore. I don't want it, and I don't want it, and I don't want it. If I wanted it, I live it. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna break me down to go back to the old lifestyle. I didn't know Jesus then, and I do now, and the difference. Even the worst, like they say, my worst day in Jesus is better than my best day out there doing absolutely nothing that was beneficial for my eternal life or my soul or my spirit or my body or my mind or my heart. You understand? So, no, that's not going to happen either. I'll lay down and I'll die praying before I succumb to Satan and what he wills for my life. I just won't do it. So, black people, black people, put on your boots of courage. Put on your armor, your coat of armor that Jesus gives you when you give your life to him. If you are afraid of anything from the enemy, if you're afraid to stand up and be a man or a black woman, tell God because if you got pride to stand in between you and God's help, you need to lose the pride. You know what I'm saying? But I'll tell you, if you're honest, totally honest with God, there's nothing God will not show you, lead you to, or give you. I'm telling you, I've told God about. I'm telling you, when I got saved, it was like the hardest thing not to have relationships with men in intimate relationships. Man, I told God, every time I get the urge to be with a guy, I tell God, I open up to God. I just be honest. God, you have to do something with this. He didn't give me no husband to marry so I could. No, he did what I asked him. Something. Just took the desire away. I am so grateful not to be married to anybody right now because I have finally begin to see who I really am in Christ, who I was meant to be, what I was meant to do, and that's because I don't have a guy to tend to that's distracting my attention, bringing me down. Because if a man cannot build me up and be there to help me like I help him, I don't need that. I don't need that from a man, from a woman, or nobody. I live alone because I don't want people and their demons in my life. I don't want their demons in my home. And I live alone so that I don't have to you know, worry with that right now. I want friends. I'm lonely. But I want friends, Christian friends. They can't be anything but Christian. I want a husband or a mate, but he can't be anything but Christian. And I'm not about to raise another man up. I'm not going to raise him. I don't have time for that. I don't have the energy for that. If he's not already the man he should be, I can't use him. there's nothing there for me. I won't be able to have a relationship, and I don't see any black men with the qualities I need to be in a relationship with. But maybe that's because I'm too ugly. You know what I'm saying? But if since that's the case, or if it's the case, and since it's the case, I'm better off by myself than with them anyway. If you don't see beauty in me, then you got a problem. And if you don't see it, it's probably most likely because the enemy told you not to. Who can really tell you not to make love to your woman, or just some things is just too stupid for me. And black men are that thing that's too stupid. Who can tell you what to do with your body? Who can tell you how to live? Who can tell you not to speak about them in your own home? Who does that? I mean, then you got the women that work overtime to break marriages up. I mean, that's what the devil wants. He doesn't want any marriages to work because it's something God likes. So you got the skanks outside, you got whores, you got women with the tight pants on, and I mean, some girls are just beautiful and look good on what they have on. But it's not necessarily for to find a husband. It's for to find somebody else's husband. It's to break up a home because there's no man for her. I mean, this is ridiculous. Life is ridiculous. And then you got to stop. Like you got to pay attention to what's beautiful about your wife. What she does do well, and what she doesn't do well. You're supposed to help her get it together. Y'all supposed to help each other. You shouldn't have time to have outside relationships. I mean, that doesn't do anything but destroy a relationship, a marriage, and your children. And come on, and where is the point when any male, gets enough of that? I mean, do you guys get enough of that? I mean, even no matter what, if it's torn up marriage, torn up relationship, you'll find a way to manipulate that woman so that you can keep doing that instead of just stopping the activity altogether and leaning on God and living for God. See, this is what I can't handle. I can't deal with that. And so you guys out there know I need a husband. Could you pull yourself together and be the man that we women want out here? If you want better women, you gotta be better men. Because at the way black men are right now, you will never find a weak woman that's decent who will want to be with you. So now then you're stuck with anything, like any black woman or any of the women that the other races reject. You usually find black men with outside his race with women that the other race have rejected. It's just too much. So anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about today. I mean, it may not make much sense to you, and a lot of a lot of videos I be doing doesn't make much sense to me either because I don't feel that I make much of a difference or a difference at all. And I wonder, God, why am I still doing this? But I do know that God can take ashes and make a phoenix out of it. He can make a beauty. He makes beauty out of ashes. So when I feel like these videos are not making a difference, you never know. I just don't know. But all I know is God says, keep it up, keep doing it. And I'm going to keep doing it until He tells me to stop. Hey, guess what? I wanted to just tell you guys this. I always wanted to be an evangelist and go from city to city, country to country, and evangelize for God, to the glory of God. It doesn't look like that's been happening because I can't even talk here well. I don't even, articulate here on this video well. So it doesn't look like I'm going to be that at all. What it is pointing to is missionary service. That's what it's pointing. Something I don't want to do. But I know a lot of times we get positions in the Lord that we don't want. I'm only hoping that's not the case, and maybe God's going to make a better speaker evangelist out of me. Which I don't want to be on a mission field. I don't. I always picture mission fields as poverty, extreme poverty, and extreme need and dire need. Now, while I pray for them all day here, I would give almost all my money to those charities. I don't want to be someplace where I can't get home. I would be there, but I don't want to be stuck somewhere where I can't get away. And I feel like that's what happened to me there, over in another third world country or something. And as I speak, God's telling me to, where's your courage? You know better than that about me. I've got you, and well, people just pray for me, and maybe somebody will write a comment and tell me what the Lord told them about me, about that situation, about missionary fields or evangelism. You guys help me in that area. And I'm going to help you right now, some of you right now that don't know the Lord. I want you to come to God. And as even though when you come to God and nothing much is happening in your life and you don't see any much difference that it made, it's making a difference. And I want you to ask God into your life so that you can make a difference. I'm out here fighting hungry, yeah, yeah. The fish ain't biting. And life's so frightening because I feel so all alone. I don't know one black person that's really 100% on my side against the enemy. Everybody's got that certain fear of the enemy that I don't understand. I understand it if you don't know God, but I don't understand it. I don't condone it. I don't endorse it because God is all in all. God is more than any enemy. There is no weapon formed against you that shall prosper. And you remember these things, people, and give your life to Christ so that you don't have to have a fear of the enemy, so that you can boldly live the life of happiness as much as happiness as you can find in this world, and go for the things that you really want to do. You don't need the enemy in your home. You don't need his spirit in your home. You don't need his spirit in your bedroom. Your children don't. You need to support your children and not break your young men down because you didn't have it that as good, that somebody didn't help you against the enemy. Stop that. You start somewhere. Child molestation went on in my home, but I didn't do it to my son. I only had the one son, but I wasn't going to do him like that and mess up his mind the way mine was. I was all messed up. I'm not going to do my kid like that. I didn't bring him into the world to suffer what just because I did. And you just don't, you break the chain. You don't continue the cycle. You break the chain. I love my child, although he's no good right now. That is my son, and I love him. I want the best for my kid. I don't want his mind and his heart and spirit to go through what I went through. That's not fair. It wasn't fair to me, and my baby ain't even finna be all like that. And whatever I can do to help my child, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna do anything that I think will hurt him. He's 43 years old, but he's still my baby. You know, and what when he came out of my body, that's the last he'll ever see of that portion of my body. I mean, that's that. I will never degrade, belittle, lower myself. Come on. I mean, that is ridiculous. I mean, that's just straight demonic behavior. To, uh, Come on. That, you know what, is I don't have words for the ridiculousness and nastiness and demonicness of it. That is ugly. And my child doesn't deserve it. And sometimes I can't stand this, but he doesn't deserve it. It's getting dark. It's 8:30 in the East Coast, and I gotta go. But before I go, I would ask people to give your life to Christ and say this prayer with me, to give it to him. It's just a short prayer. It's not going to take much of your time at all, and you won't see may not see the difference right away, but God is going to be doing great things in your life if you do. Here, say this here. Father, I know you sent Jesus Christ to walk this earth to save me from my sins. Please save me through his name. In Jesus' name, amen. Just like that. Guess what? You're a saved person as of this moment. The angels rejoice over one sinner that repents than 99,000 people who self-righteous don't think they need God. I'm getting ready to go. I want to drink my coffee. And it's getting dark in here, and I didn't prepare the lighting here because I thought I would only be on for a half hour. And it's been 40 minutes, just 10 minutes, more than a half hour. But oh my God, may God bless you all, and may God be with you. Please pray for me, pray for yourself, pray for others, even if you don't like them. God loves you, I love you, and I'm so happy that I'm not in the world alone. Thank you for being here.